There we are. Another Eliza Labs builder demo session. Yeah, look, so we're just going to sit for 5 minutes and let some people join. But we have 2 plugin tutorials with us today and 2 teams with us today that are going to demo plugins. The first is Beacon Protocol. They are a protocol that lets people, or I should say agents, manage private and sensitive data. They're going to intro the project and then run through a demo project that they've built of their own, which is a travel agent. And the second is the Token Metrics team. They are going to introduce their plugin and talk through the types of data and across different forms of data, cryptocurrency, trading signals, equities, etc., and how that can be consumed through elizaOS. So yeah, really, really great to have you all here. As always, we'll keep it nice and informal. If you have questions, if you're listening in, throw it in the chat and we'll make sure that we get it answered. I guess just whilst we've got 5 minutes, would love to hear a little bit around your backgrounds and maybe just a quick intro to the project, or how you got in this space and how you maybe started the protocols off. Phil, you look really keen to start off, so yeah, I was going to throw that over to you.
Thanks so much for having us. Yeah, I'm Phil McManus, CEO and co-founder of Beacon Protocol. I think one of the really challenging areas of AI that has been for sort of forever. It's not like AI is brand new. Has really been managing data and how you think about proprietary and sensitive data being used inside of AI, whether that's in models, agents. I think we all know that's a big competitive edge. So we focused on how do we make it safe and secure to be able to use sensitive and private data inside of agents, and particularly designed in a way for agentic AI frameworks, because the future is going to be agent-to-agent communications. We're not only be sitting in the middle. So we've been building for a while and excited to see this plugin we've been working on come together for Eliza. So really excited to share it with the community.
Awesome. And what do you see at the moment on that agent-to-agent communication side? Like, what are you seeing practically, let's say?
Yeah, I think practically I think we're still, let's be honest, we're all still early. Everyone's still early in this. Look at what's going on with even A to A, still very new. I think what's really interesting is we're starting to move from hypothetical use cases to practical use cases. And that's one of the things that we're seeing as we're having conversations is we look at that actually being real world use cases, is that things like being able to have sensitive information move between agents holds things back. I think we even saw, Sam Altman talk about when OpenAI released OpenAI agents. It was like the big caveat and asterisk with everything we're announcing today is this is frontier tech. It's very edge. Really think about and be careful what information you put into agents. And we need to move beyond relying on humans to do that, because we screw that up every single day. And we need to start building those guardrails into the technology. So we see that as being one of the really big hindrances as we look at some of the use cases. And that's what we're hoping that the plugin that we built for Eliza helps solve for people that want to build those real world uses.
Nice. That's awesome to hear. I mean, I know you've been building for a while, so I'm really, really interested to learn more about what you've been putting together. I mean, on the other side as well, like Token Metrics, boring fact, I spent 4 years working in oracles. I'm very familiar with price data for DeFi and, how, I guess, the back end of the various different Legos that exist operate. So know how important it is to have secure, accurate data. And I think just to build on from what you were saying, Phil, like we're going from, I say, V1 of agents to having autonomous agents, and those data inputs are only going to become more and more important. So yeah, would love to, what's your perspective on the space? What are you excited about? Maybe what brought you to being in Token Metrics? I don't know if anyone from the team wants to pick that up.
Sorry, guys, is that for us?
Yes, that's for you, yeah.
Right, I thought that was directed at Phil, because you said Beacon Protocol. So could you repeat that question, King?
Yeah, I mean, just familiar with Token Metrics and the price data that your API or similar APIs produce. Just like as we go from V1 agents to V2 agents, I think accurate data is going to become more and more important, particularly if they're going to be executing on chain, particularly autonomously as well. Just wondering, yeah, what's your perspective on where we're at with Agent 5, if you want to call it that? What brought you into the space? Just a little bit on your background before we kind of kick things off.
Sure. I'll give you a quick introduction on token metrics before diving into your question. So we've been around for about 5 years now, and that's a B2C side of the platform. We're an AI analytics platform, about 75,000 plus users at the moment. And ultimately, we help traders and investors do the market, right? Whether you're a retail investor, institutional investor, or trader, with bullish and bearish signals, trader grades, token grades, analysis on different tokens. We just help them guide through the market. And as of this year, after 5 years now, we went live with our API and SDK, which ultimately is all of our backend data with about 27 plus different data endpoints now available for builders, anyone wanting to build trading agents, anyone building any decentralized applications to use our data to speed up wherever they're building more efficiently and also having a better output. Now, in terms of integrations with the API, we started integrating with our projects, our portals, virtuals, and a few other names as well. And Liza was definitely one of the biggest names, and we were very excited to be integrating. And in terms of where we stand at the moment with trading agents and agents in general, we're still in the very early days, right? I mean, quite in the inception, and as Phil said. So in terms of the room for growth, it's immense, and it's very exciting.
Nice. Yeah, I agree. I think we had maybe a lot of excitement. I think people the penny dropped and people saw what was possible with agents and where it could go. And now we're kind of fulfilling what people maybe have manifested in November, December time, and the infrastructure is catching up and everything else is catching up, which is cool to see. And it's great to have you here as well, and get to see what you've been kind of putting together within Eliza as well. So I mean, let's kick things off for just 7 minutes. We've got some viewership flowing in slowly. Do you, Phil and Beacon Protocol, I understand you'll be leading the demo from your side. Would you want to get your slides up and we can kick off proceedings, let's say?
Yeah, sounds good.
I love that phrase, by the way. When the penny dropped, I'm going to steal that one.
It's an English phrase.
All right, did I get it? Did I do it? Yes.
You got it.
I've only got a few tabs to jump back and forth from as we go through things.
Looks great. Cool.
Awesome.
Look, over to you, Phil.
Awesome. Well, thanks so much, everyone. As kind of alluded to, we're focused on unlocking proprietary data for AI, and one of the things we're doing that is we've built a new plugin that we just launched for elizaOS. Is we take a look at AI and data. I think one of the things that's really interesting is that proprietary data is the edge when it comes to AI, particularly around models and agent capabilities. Even as everyone's using similar foundational models, when you look at what makes them better, it's the fine tuning, it's the training, it's the additional capabilities that you're building into agents. And there's a lot of data out there, but there's a lot of question of how does it really get used properly with AI. I think one of the things that's been really interesting is that we're seeing AI guzzle data at absolutely unprecedented rates. I think the advent of what we've seen around MCP has been incredibly helpful, but that's also come with a lot of challenges around security, transparency. MCP is very much around plugging into existing systems. There's a lot of question concerned around security as things are flowing through servers. And ultimately, when we look at a world of agentic AI, where we're going to have a world of billions of agents, people want to be able to use private and sensitive data with AI, but they don't want to lose their control. They don't want to lose ownership of that data, and they don't want it to become a security risk. So that's why we've built out Beacon Protocol to be the missing layer to be able to handle this connection between private data and AI. In terms of how we've designed the system, it's built to be able to access and share data seamlessly across any ecosystem. We already support several major L1s. We've built it in a way that is storage and compute agnostic. So it's not about, you need to have an MCP server connected into a specific instance. We've also designed it in a way that makes it possible for agentic AI to be able to use programmatic data and collaborate across agents without needing to have a human in the middle. So instead of setting up a system where you say, okay, I'm going to approve this agent, I'm going to continue moving through the system, agents can be able to share data across themselves appropriately. You also maintain a ledger of how that's being accessed and can be revoked in the future as well, which is great. And as well, we've done this in a way that utilizes end-to-end encryption that's infrastructure agnostic. So this isn't a situation where you need to be running everything inside of a TE or relying on, computational heavy technologies like ZK or FHE. So it's designed to work really well with agents because of that simplicity. The way that we see this working and what we're going to be demoing today is we've built this travel agent concept where agents can be able to work together. So we wanted to use a non-crypto use case just to show another, real world that may be more relatable to the average person, where if you think about a travel agent that's booking travel for someone, they're going to be able to have that. They're going to need to get access to a whole bunch of sensitive information from that person. So, things that are sensitive like their passport, things that are less sensitive like, food or hotel preferences. And then what's going to happen is we look at agentic AI is they're going to task out other agents to execute those tasks. So a flight agent's going to book the flights. They'll need access to specific information. A hotel agent will book hotels, restaurant, handling restaurant reservations. So we built a way that these agents can all collaborate together and use data in a way that's secure, but also that isn't retained inside of memory so that you reduce leakage and security risks. But also retain provenance, and you can be able to pull that data up later again with another agent. So I know we got Neil from our team as well, and wanted to sort of kick this over to Neil real quick to talk about some of the other use cases that we're seeing beyond travel, just to help set the stage for everyone as they think about where this could go.
Sure. Yeah. Thanks, Phil. I'll keep it pretty brief here, but like at the highest level, or like from a first principles standpoint, we really believe like Beacon as a plugin should be used by any builders today, depending on their use case. We could talk about a couple others, but also I'd say there's probably use cases we haven't even thought of yet. So like kind of like a call to action or challenge to builders on Eliza, like figure out ways where agents need to share data in a way that's discreet, in a way that's secure, and a way that's actually scalable, depending on the data set itself. So yeah, Phil's going to walk through the travel agent component. But think about fitness, wellness, and I say think about these things. We have projects ongoing right now where we're integrating Beacon in the back end of these different agentic frameworks, nice. Where there's some data when you're building your wellness agent, you're just never going to want to share. On the flip side, there's some data you're going to want to monetize, whether it's for aggregation or indexing or monetization or attribution or measurement. Like there's some data you're going to be okay letting go, and being able to have that be programmatic, scalable, and instant. I say programmatic, like this shouldn't be another manual thing. It just needs to work, which as Phil was kind of talking about before, it's how agents are going to consume data at scale. But yeah, wellness, fitness, trading agents, you're not going to give this one agent all your trading credentials. Like I kind of challenge the community on this to think about like what information at a bare bones standpoint needs to exist between different agents talking to each other.
Yeah. So just double clicking on this a little bit, let's say I am using a wearable device that has a whole host of data that, has all of my, how much I walk each day, or how much I exercise and where I am, etc. And that would be really powerful if an agent could access that and use that in its advice, right? Obviously, if that's universal across all touch points that I have across my day, that then becomes quite powerful. And as you're saying, you can then monetize that and replay that back to, you can serve that back into, protein shake manufacturers who might want to know what you do, for example. That's at the crux, what Beacon Protocol does and what you're unlocking here with the plugin.
I'd say that's very much on the nose. Awesome. Think of it almost as like a compliance accelerator. As you roll without bringing it to market.
When it comes to, let's say, autonomous agents and executing without a human approval of in that UI journey, do you bring anything to the table there? Like, are you enabling? I don't know. We need to remove the human aspect of agents being able to do things, I think, over time, of course.
Yeah, so I think that's one thing I'm really excited about, is because of the fact that if you think about something like a traditional approach of using MCP, you're creating our APIs, you're creating all of these credentials up front, and you're saying, here's who can use these credentials, and when you want to add access to another one, you need to go through the work manually of setting that up, creating another one. Let's be honest, in a world of billions of autonomous agents, this just doesn't scale. We need a different way to be able to handle that. So because of the way that we built Beacon, where all of the access controls and data provenance are on chain, it brings a new level of programmability there, where agents you can be able to say, hey, I want to give I want to put this travel agent that has let's talk about, folding reputation score into it, right? This travel agent has a high reputation score. I trust it to be able to, have this data to be able to execute my travel for me, but I only want it to use, other agents that also have a high reputation score. So you can be able to set those criterias and give role-based concepts to it, where those agents can then go and make that data accessible to other agents inside of those parameters. And then you also still have the ability to revoke that consent as the owner of that data downstream as well. So heaven forbid something ever happened with, agent going rogue, right, or something like that. When you talk about that, retaining in memory, that's where you have some of those risks there. So by being able to revoke that consent, you can stop and shut off access to those as well.
Nice. Interesting. I mean, this is like say a good use for blockchain as well. Not that maybe, let's say there's many, but having this on a centralized server maybe wouldn't work. Using this, using blockchains to enable that universal layer. Yeah, interesting.
Yeah, you got it. And to sort of hop into how it works real quick, and then I'll do the quick demo.
Sure. Yeah.
The way that the plugin works is that there's private data that you're giving to the agent. Beacon protocol then handles the data handling. So you configure the plugin to say, here's the type of data fields that I want the agent watching out for. When those data fields come across, what we do, and jump to the next one here, is that we have support for both 0G and Monad right now. So those are two of the major L1s that we support. From a storage standpoint, we built it in a way that the data can be stored anywhere. So when the data is being written, what happens is you establish that data context, what you're looking for inside the plugin. The data is then encrypted. When that data is encrypted, what happens is the provenance and the access controls are on chain. So the data itself is not on chain. And then the encrypted data goes to any storage, whether that's local, cloud, decentralized, so that you're relying on those access controls. We also work with, I think a lot of people are familiar with LIP protocol that use ELIZA. We use LIP protocol to multi-party compute shard the underlying keys. So we have them as a part of our stack. And what that results in is that when you go to then read and retrieve that data, the read request comes in, it's going out, it's checking the information that's on chain around access and provenance. It's also going and grabbing that encrypted data. That decryption's happening at the agent level, and then that data is coming back. So instead of having that happen server side, where then raw data is going through these larger streams and pipes, it's very much like first and think about sort of like first and last mile and encryption of data in the piping. So brings a lot of flexibility in terms of how that can be done.
Very nice. Yeah, neat.
Well, let me hop over. Let me see how changing tabs goes here. Can I just hop over to here and share this tab instead? I do it right. Awesome. Cool. So let me jump into, this is aligned around that example that I had up before around a travel agent. We're going to start off with the travel agent here, and let's go ahead and we're going to start out and say, let's tell the agent to please add, let's say that we've got, we're Susan Stone to Beacon, and her passport number is, come with a random passport number, and she prefers Hilton hotels. So we go and submit that to the agent. It's going to think through that, take a look at that information. So we'll give it a second here for it to process it. So what's going on right now is it's encrypting this information, sending it over to Beacon. So it comes back and says, okay, we've added Susan with this information. Let me very quickly now hop over to, do we see the logs here now? Yes. So here's the logs. So as we take a look at what's going on, what we're seeing here. So we're adding Susan Stone to the system.
So you have 4 different servers, is that right?
Yeah.
Flight agent, hotel agent, travel agent. It's engaging all of them. Yeah.
Yep, correct. It's engaging all of them across that. So what we'll now do is if we hop over to the hotel agent, switch back over to this tab. So if we go over to the hotel agent now, we can ask the hotel agent what's Susan Stone's hotel preference. So it's going to check on things running in the background.
Just whilst it's doing that, the GUI looks good, doesn't it? I see you're on v1.5.5.
Yep.
That's the latest release.
Yeah. So here we see it comes back and says that Susan's preference is Hilton. If we switch back over to the logs here to show what's happening, you'll see here that what's happening is it's gone out, it's found the data for Susan. It's reached out, it's doing the data encryption, checking the part names, doing the decryption. And then you'll see we're coming back here with the information that her hotel chain preference is Hilton. So this is where it's going and pulling that up. And what's really cool is that we can also then, if we go back over to the agent here, say Susan Stone would like to change hotel preference to Marriott. So it'll go ahead and execute that change in the system. So we'll give it a second to have it come back and confirm that that's all set. Okay, great. It's updated. Cool. So now if we switch back over to the travel agent, what's Susan Stone's hotel preference?
It's checking for those access control rights every time.
It's interesting as well, like generally speaking, RAG in memory, you're probably familiar with this, is a challenge in agents, right? Like they hallucinate, they forget things, it's it's interesting that there's it's an interesting solution to that problem.
Yep. So we'll see now that it's come back with Marriott, but what's also really cool about this is if I move back over to what we're seeing in the logs, what's really interesting about agents and agents changing data is how do we know what happened, right? Things can happen so fast. So what we're actually seeing here is both the original record, right, of knowing that, okay, it was Hilton, but now it's been changed to Marriott. So it's able to retain the history of what's happening as well. So that if you want to take a look at a system and see what's going on, you can see what agent's changing what and brings that accountability and traceability to the table for agents. So, really cool seeing how that happens. And again, that it's also, end to end and encrypting all of that data. So.
Nice.
Yeah.
Great.
So that's what I wanted to cover off in the demo. So really excited to see more people in the community start to engage with this plugin as we just launched it yesterday. And let me hop back over to the deck here. For instance, watching, here's a QR code. Follow us on @Beacon Protocol. Our plugin is now available inside of the registry. When you go to take a look at the plugin, because we are doing things around private and sensitive data, it is whitelist right now. So you'll see in the README for the plugin, there's a whitelist link. You can click that. I can also drop in and share that in the Discord for anyone that's interested, just so that we can make sure that we're helping people as best we can as we work through some of these real new unique use cases.
Yeah, nice, awesome. that was one of my questions. Was is this in the registry? But I guess that they need to.
As of yesterday, it's brand spanking new in the registry.
Okay. That's good to hear.
It's still drying.
We can definitely help spread the word about the whitelist and see what we can do to get some eyes on it. And that was great. I mean, there's no questions, which is normally sometimes a good thing. But so I mean, I think I don't have too many questions. I'm curious to see how this can be used and like what on that memory piece as well. I think that's an interesting area of exploration. It might be worth
the other thing I realized I didn't show in the demo as well is that if you clear the history in these chats, right, you go and you delete all of the memories. This isn't relying on memories. It's not relying on the PG Lite storage layer. You can bring up, you can bring up a totally new chat with this agent for another session, and they can still connect and get access to this information. So I think that's one of the things that, as Neil mentioned, we're really excited to see what sort of ideas and use cases the community comes up around this, because it's a very different way to approaching this than has sort of traditionally been done.
Yeah, I mean, we have there's two projects coming to mind. One is a kind of matchmaking agent, so it's called Soulmates.
Nice.
So you upload your data, and the agent scans or tries to match you with people that join locally, and it's a bit more of a curated, let's say, matching engine. I could see this being pretty useful there for various reasons. I also think there's some verifiability. And when you go for a date, you want to make sure that it is a person. You don't necessarily want your details everywhere, right? And then there's also a few marketing type agents. There's two that come to mind. One is replyguide.ai, and the other is called Growth Terminal. And I know from the amount of contextual data that they have to process for that brand or from that marketing strategy that they're inputting, sometimes the memory in the RAG system does, let's say, just struggle to keep up with the amount of data it has. So like that I can see, maybe where this could complement that or supplement existing, some agents really that we have already.
Yeah, great comments.
Yeah, just one question as well. Is this built specifically for Eliza, or is Eliza one framework that you've integrated into the kind of data layer at the moment?
Eliza is one framework that we've integrated to right now. So this could be, as I mentioned, we've built this in a way that, we want to see it very interoperable across any system. So, we built the plugin with Eliza, but could interface with any different agent system. We've also been doing some things with, if you're familiar with Demo, the DPIN network. We've got some ways that
earlier.
So we just launched a model build competition on Flock, and have a new demo agent that's coming out that understands unique vehicle performance information. So things like fuel efficiency that become highly personalized that can run on that data in real time. So
I back to the boring Oracle topic. Right at the start of like 2022-21, Demo was just starting life, and we were looking at how we can use data from cars for dynamic insurance rates, etc. I was thinking of Demo as you were demoing.
There's some. We just were talking with them just before this morning, and we've got some really cool stuff coming out. So it'll be really exciting when it launches. So definitely going in that direction that we've all been thinking about with Demo. So really excited to see it come together.
Awesome, guys. Well, look, thank you so much for coming and sharing a bit more around Beacon. I think, as we'll say, we'll make sure we'll try and join some dots and see what we can do for getting people into that whitelist. But again, thank you so much.
Thanks a bunch.
Yeah, Tokenmetrics. Is it Ashtosh that will be opening up?
It's actually going to be me. Yeah. Hi.
It will be Fat.
Yeah.
Correct. Yeah, cool. Very nice to have you guys here. I hope you're all well. Do you want to bring up your slides and we can essentially just jump straight in?
Yeah, actually, I'm going to jump right into the documentation of what our plugin can do and demo with the agents, because I really don't have any slides prepared.
No worries.
So I'm going to keep it really simple and kind of technical a little bit. So basically Tokenmetrics offer APIs, and basically TypeScript and Python SDK to get access to our proprietary data, from basic things that you can get from anywhere, like price data, official CV data, to more like advanced and AI data that developed in-house by us, like moonshots, which basically tokens that can potentially increase in price like 50% or 30% in 1 or 2 hours, or trading signals, which show you which token is analyzed as bullish or bearish. Yeah, they are categorized by our data. Yeah, and many more and many other data like fundamental grades. So yeah, because we are Tokenmetrics is a AI analytics platform, so we focus on bringing unique and helpful data to our users. And now, as we our API is like ready, so we kind of develop um, a plugin to configure it to let AI agents, use get access to our data, so you can have a really powerful personal crypto agents which can help you analyze data, or maybe in the future, if we have let's say buying or selling features in the API, you can use it to buy and sell tokens really, really conveniently. So here, if you get access to the Eliza platform, you can find our plugin right here. Actually, I have configured the plugin.
It's already there. You have your words then.
Right, and so you need to get any kind of AI provider key, and also an API key from us. So where you can get this is go into our platform and just register it and get a free API key. It's really really quick. You can get that very easily. Yep. So after that, the agent is ready, and I'm going to start showing how we can talk to the agent. So let's start with some really simple prompts like, what's the price of Bitcoin? So give it some time for the agent to spin up, and then what the agent is now doing is it's going to look at all the tools, all the set of tools that the agent can reach it to, and then it's going to choose one from it, which is the price tool, and then it will respond with get the data, and then it's going to respond with the right. So here's I want data on BTC. So sometimes the agents might get confused because of the large amount of data that our API is bringing.
Yeah.
So maybe it discovers that some token also has the symbol BTC, and then it just responds to it. We can be more specific by asking it like this. Yeah, I want data on BTC.
So your endpoint, just to talk around that a little bit as well. So you've got 20 different endpoints, cryptocurrency analysis, trading signals, and then there's AI powered market insights as well. So there's a breadth of data behind the API, right? Within this crypto agent that you're demoing, have you focused on a specific type, or have you, is there anything specific that you think is worthwhile showcasing from that as well?
Oh yeah, we definitely want to focus on the trading signals data from us, which give a broad market overview of which tokens are showing bullish, bearish, or like neutral signal. So we want to traders, we want to know should we trade on? So I'm going to ask it right now.
Did I see that was free as well? That was free to access the trading signal.
Yeah, that's true. Some of the like important or like advanced data from us is actually free, like this trading signals, which is
Nice.
Right. I'm going to ask it like right now. Like, give me a market analysis and tell me, and then tell me which tokens I should trade if that token is bullish. Okay, so we got an arrow here, which I think is let me check the API key again. All right. Actually, let's just skip that and let's jump right into the trading signals data. Right. We're going to give it some time to process here. And then we're good to go.
I mean, if this works, we're potentially unlocking, financial freedom for the world. No, I'm joking.
Okay. Right. Actually, I just changed the system prompts of the agents before that. Sorry.
Hey guys, Fat, would you be fine to just fire one query? So the API and Eliza would extract the parameters first and then it would get us the data rather than combining the queries. So something like, hey, show me the trading signals for ETH or any other query from our.
Okay, sure. Right? That's the current trading signal of ETH. Right, let's be more specific on the prompts. So yeah, we're still actively developing the API, and yeah, if the API gets better, then the plugin just naturally gets better also.
Sure. Yeah, I mean, it makes sense. Like these things take a while to tune, right? It's kind of realistic about where we're at with the agent world in general, and it's not just Eliza; it's all agent frameworks. There's a vast amount of data being processed. There's, we're just talking about the memory and RAG system before, right? And I think this is kind of related to that. Like, how does the agent remember what's happened before, and how does it interpret, let's say, what you've asked it recently? So yeah,
so guys.
So
guys, basically the Eliza integration we have done in a way that every other action corresponds to every other API call that we have, right? So let's say someone wants to ask, like, just a use case that we have started, like, what's the trading signal of a certain token? Tell me the quant metrics for a particular token, or what is the price prediction, or any other among all the 21 endpoints that we support. Then as you can see, Fat just typed the trading signals for a particular token. So it clearly says that it is bullish at 0 signals. And right now, the signal that we have is a bearish. So it's clearly indicating people that, okay, you should sell this right now since the price may go down. Now, the application is like in a way that this could be used in a trading agent, right? So let's say our API provides the data for a token to be bullish or bearish, then we can execute the swap, right? So this is just one of the many use cases that our API offers, and this is what we integrated with Eliza, that if someone wants to have a AI agent like we have in Eliza and they want to have a comprehensive cryptocurrency data, so they can just type in the prompt, right? And like you say, like you see in the trading signals, we can see that it extracts the parameters and it gets us the data from the token metrics database through the Eliza in the CLI. So this is what we have done, and we are still getting on a lot of APIs, other APIs. We are improving our APIs. Its latency, we are shifting to V3, V2. So our aim is to be the number one cryptocurrency analysis data provider, where people don't have to go anywhere. They can simply come to the token metrics. They can get all sort of data across the trading, be it trading signals or we have other uh, tokens. So we have things like correlation, the indices holding. So we have the hourly trading signals. So we also predict the data based on hourly trading signals, right? Then we have the technology grade, the daily OHLCV. So these are the type of things that we have integrated with the ELIZA. So now another case here, as you can see, is the FAT has right now said what are the moonshot tokens. So I think TAF can come in here and explain more properly about what are the moonshot tokens that we, you know,
Sure,
support.
I'll give you a breakdown on the moonshots. Now, when it comes to the API, ultimately you're going to get the backend data to trade those moonshot tokens. Now, moonshot tokens are tokens under $50 million market cap, right? That could see a price surge in the short term. So it takes all the fundamental analysis, token analysis, the volume, the signals, the TM grade, and brings it down to one actionable bullish or bearish signal on whether that token is worth trading or shorting, depending if it's available in future markets as well.
Yeah.
Now,
As you can see, currently we have fetched the moonshot tokens, like you could see here, and we also provide the risk warning, all the other things. So our data pipeline is configured with a lot of scenarios, and and our data tries to achieve as much as accuracy. So as TAF is explaining, so okay, that is one of the applications of
Yeah,
moonshot tokens. So
I want to if we take a look at the platform, so basically, as you can see, all the moonshots are like such a
yes,
really short time holding and offer high ROI for each token. And
Okay.
and you can get access to the current active moonshots through the uh, to- through the plugin using Eliza agent. So yeah, you can also get access to which token is currently flagged up moonshots really quickly.
Nice. So this is the AI powered insights solution that you have through Token Metrics, right? Just to clarify, this is the moonshots.
No, so moonshots is just one part of the platform. So our most recent release.
Okay.
Now, if you go over to our platform, ultimately you get all of the data in our platform. Most of the data available through Eliza, right? And moonshots being one of them, right?
Okay.
If you go over to the analytics, right? Analytics and then the ratings page.
Oh, you mean the ratings page? Okay.
Yeah. We can just use Zeta here as an example. So we got this token right here. Okay, just go to ratings.
Okay, so let me just go back to it. All right. Okay.
Yeah. So let's say with Zeta, right? When there was a bullish signal, if you asked Eliza about tokens worth trading, it'll give you a summary of tokens based on our data, and Zeta would have been one of them. The bullish signal coming in at 3 cents, and then current price being at 16. We give a bearish signal as the price goes down, and ultimately we have a 70% success rate against the HODL, like if you're holding the token, right? So bullish and bearish signals have a 70% success rate compared to just holding the token. So if you click on Zeta, trading signals P&L at the bottom left, you can see the trading signal ROI and then the hodling ROI. The hodling ROI being 30%. And if you follow the trading signals, if you build a trading agent using the data with our API, or if you use elizaOS, the trading agent plugin, you can also get that data through there and ultimately use it whether you're building a trading agent or just manually trading, getting the information fed to you through the agent as well. Now we'll go through like one example. That's like a bullish signal example. But let's say you were asking for tokens, that will, let's say Luna, for example. That's usually a good example to go through. Like when Luna went to absolutely nothing, right? Our AI ultimately picked it up. And like Mantra as well. And a lot of tokens ended up having big downfalls, that AI picked it up before doing so, and also with bullish signals as well, right? Now, ultimately, if you went into the agent in the future, right, came in and asked for tokens worth trading. It ultimately gives you tokens based on our data and based on whether they have a high token grade and have a bullish signal, right? Whether it's worth trading or not using that data, right? And then, of course, you come in, do your own due diligence, go through the analysis, go through the platform, and make your own decision from there, right? Now, so ultimately, the ratings page you get access to here, right? The token grade, the moonshots as well. So moonshot ultimately is just a new feature, a very, very popular feature where you can ultimately just ask it what are the current moonshot tokens, and those are tokens under $50 million market cap that can, that usually an average moonshot token is there for about 10 days, right? So ultimately, it's a short-term trade under $50 million market cap. And at the moment, the average ROI, and we have this on the platform, if we go back to the platform, the average ROI per token is 7%, right? Since launching, the max return for a token was 240%, and the win rate is currently 52%. And ultimately, that is all available through the elizaOS agent. You can access that data through there.
What do you guys think to kind of an agent autonomously executing based on this API? Would you feel comfortable with it consuming the data straight from the API, making that call, like from what you've seen in the performance so far? Or
100%. So we're actually got our biggest launch next month, right? The most requested launch from our users, and that's the indices, right? And these are tokenized indices. And first launch being the TM100, right? Which ultimately is the top 100 tokens based on our token grades. In fact, if you go over to the indices platform, so if you go analytics indices, that's another part of our platform. Indices. Analytics, indices, on the market. So this is a historical performance of our indices, right? You can see at the moment, it has about a 68,000 ROI since launching a few years ago, right? And this can all be tracked, and you can see all the tokens. And this is weekly rebalanced based on our data on the top token, right? Now, ultimately, what's going to happen with the indices is we're going to have sector-specific indices, right? Right now, it's just the top 10 tokens rebalanced every single week. The sector indices, for example, we're going to have the AI indices, we're going to have the RWA indices, starting off with the TM Global 100, TM Global 50, and so on, right? And ultimately, you're going to have trading agents that anyone can come in and buy these indices, right? And they'll auto rebalance every single week, and you're going to be able to ride the wave. And again, this was the most requested feature from our users, as ultimately a lot of our users are coming in and having to manually trade that token somewhere else, right? And when it comes to the elizaOS plugin now, is anyone that's using the plugin can come in and ask it questions that is available on our platform, right?
Interesting.
So when it comes to a token worth trading, or even when indices launch, we'll be integrating that too.
Yeah, nice. Very cool. I mean, this is it's a great platform. So yeah, congrats on putting this all together. I don't have too many questions. I'm fairly familiar with it myself. I guess just like from an agent perspective, there's a few trading platforms in our ecosystem. One is called Sempi. There is, of course, our own Spartan, and there are a few others whose name escapes me off the top of my head. But yeah, I mean, this should supplement any kind of platform focused on the execution side and the UI side for a trader. They can make use of this pretty much out of the box now, right? 'Cause it's set up in the plugin. There's free elements. At what point will the user need to start paying for the API, just out of interest? Like when does it jump from, like, what could you do in the playground, and then when do you jump into needing to pay for the data feed?
Yeah, so ultimately you get 500 free API calls, right? So ultimately for anyone that wants to come in and start testing it, right?
Yeah.
And just test the water, see if they like it or not, right? They're able to come in and test up until 500 API calls. After that, you're charged on pay-per-call model, right?
Cool.
Now, if you're a builder and you're already scaling, we got plans already available to come in and pay for. We got new projects already onboarded, right, onto API and SDK that are building with it. And yeah.
Okay, nice. Yeah, we should. I mean, X402 in the middle of that, if you pay per call, that would be kind of interesting. I don't know if you're familiar with the payments protocol, like
Coinbase,
that's cool.
yeah. So we actually integrated Coinbase X402. This was about 2 months ago. We cross-marketed with Coinbase as well. That was a big one. We've got updated cross-marketing posts coming out with them I believe it's in 2 weeks. So we integrated X4.2. The first integration was just with the Coinbase agent kit, right? And we just went live with that. And the X4.2 was integrated about 2 weeks ago. We're announcing it to the public in about 2-3 weeks or so. So
cool, awesome, very cool, guys. Well, look, thank you for putting this together, and thanks for the demo. I don't have any of the questions. I can't see any questions elsewhere as well. So, I mean, let's call that a wraps. Where would they go to get started? I mean, obviously they can come into the Eliza GUI. Where's one place they can plug into?
Yeah, firstly, Kane, thanks for having us on. Absolute pleasure to come on to the stream, and it's been great fun learning about Beacon Protocol as well. I mean, you guys too. I'll quickly screen share and just if you can stay updated on what we're working on and what we're up to here. You can come over to our X first, so at Token Metrics Inc. Right? So any updates, you can come in here and you're going to come across them. Also, in our developer hub, we launched our developer hub X, which is specifically focused at API and SDK. Right? Come through and follow it there. This just launched, we launched this X about last week, just to separate all of our developer-related content and the content for our users that we've been putting out now for a few years. So at Token Metrics Inc. on X and at Token Metrics Dev on X as well. And of course, if you just want to come in and let's say you are not building a trading agent, right? You just want to get access to that data, right, through our platform. You can join the rest of our 75,000 plus users. Come over to tokenmetrics.com and start with a 7-day free trial. So you can just try it out for free. And again, just get access to all that data, the nice UI.
Amazing. Well, look, thank you again to everybody. And yeah, Neil and Phil, was great to learn about Beacon Protocol at the same time. So yeah, this will be on the YouTube. Feel free to share the link afterwards, of course. And if you're listening in, I'll drop all of the key links in the description. So yeah, thank you so much again, guys. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you. Great job, Token Metrics team. Great.
Yeah, it's awesome, Token Metrics. Love it.
Likewise, Neil. Very excited to cover region, guys. Thanks for having us on. Bye.
Cheers, guys.
Take care, everyone.